GGRC.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of GGRC. I'm RC, and we're doing another one of these fun little discussion podcast type episodes. We had so much fun doing it before. We're doing it again, and we're talking about E3 again. So with me, just like last time, is AJ from Video Chums. How are you, AJ?
Hello, I'm doing good. How are you, RC?
So robotic. Yeah, I'm doing well.
I replaced my brain with the artificial intelligence.
Oh, artificial?
I don't remember.
We'll go with artificial for sure. And of course, filling out our third, we have a new guest. His name is Tyler, and he works as a freelance on Video Chums. How are you, Tyler?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
Not bad, not bad. So we've come together today to discuss E3. But before we discuss E3 2019, we're going to talk a little bit about this new game that came out on the Switch called Cadence of Hyrule. Now, AJ, I know you did a review for this on Video Chums. I've been playing a bit of it. What was your overall opinion of this? You don't have to give away your whole review or anything, but what did you think of the game?
I think it's great. Left a really good first impression, and then that carried on throughout the whole game. Yeah, there's so much to it. There's so many like fun items and great music, and yeah, it's a great little game.
That honestly is my favorite part of the game is the music. The music is awesome. It's absolutely awesome. It goes from, heavy metal version of Zelda songs to, electronica versions, like just from screen to screen, and it's so cool.
And when you defeat all the enemies, it just like, gets all quiet all of a sudden. It's great.
Yeah, it's really satisfying. It's one of those games where like when you solve destroying all the enemies on a screen and it goes quiet and you can control Link however you want. It has this like really weird tranquil feel to it, but you feel like I was able to solve that screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great game. It follows the same formula as Crypt of the NecroDancer, which is a game I did not really play much of before I played this, where you're timing your movements to music. And of course, that music is the Legend of Zelda OST, which is just marvelously made. I don't know if you could buy the soundtrack anywhere, but as soon as it's available, it's probably going to be something I get because I love it so much. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I've only beat one of the dungeons so far. I did a live stream of it, and I played about an hour and a half of it. And I would say if you haven't played Crypt of the NecroDancer like me, there's a little bit of a learning curve to it to kind of figure out the groove, so to speak. Because as you're bouncing around trying to destroy enemies, you're also trying to figure out how you can hop onto things, how you can hop through water, how many spaces it's going to take for you to get over to an enemy to take them out, whether your weapon is the right weapon to use for the situation between bombs and arrows and swords and stuff like that. And it really, every screen, like I said, really does kind of feel like a puzzle in a way. So, but I got to agree with you. So far, what I played of it, I played an hour and a half, between an hour and a half to 2 hours of it. I'm just really enjoying it. I think it's a cool little game.
Yeah.
I haven't played it, but I have played a decent amount of Crypt of the NecroDancer, and I found it really difficult. So is this one maybe eased up a little bit, maybe a little bit more accessible, or is it pretty challenging?
Well, there's a difficulty setting that you could take out the rhythm mechanic, so it acts more like a mystery dungeon game, if you've ever played any of those.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
It's interesting, though. I knew it sent me that dialogue one time because I guess I wasn't doing very well. And it was like, hey, you could turn this off. And I was like, doesn't that defeat the purpose of the game? I don't know.
You can do that in Crypt of the NecroDancer, and to me it does defeat the purpose in Crypt of the NecroDancer to turn off the rhythm mechanic.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier. But if you've ever played like mystery dungeon games, which Shiren the Wanderer, Toho Genso Wanderer, Loot Rascals, Quest of Dungeons.
I have played Quest of Dungeons, actually.
Oh yeah, you reviewed that on this site.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a mystery dungeon game.
Okay.
Yeah. Like that sort of thing where you move around dungeons and the enemies move with you. Yeah.
Gotcha. Like where you kind of take turns taking steps and stuff.
Yeah, like that's what it turns into when you take the rhythm out. But it does make it too easy.
Hmm.
Interesting.
What was there? Which mode did you prefer, the rhythm bass or the other one?
I only played with rhythm. I yeah, I didn't want to. Well, I tried out the other one a little bit just to to see for my review, but it definitely makes it too easy.
Okay. Yeah, I could definitely say without any experience with Crypt of the Necrodancer, I've played like 10 minutes of that game on Switch before I tried Cadence of Hyrule because the other night they actually put the game on sale, the original, for $4. So they had a moment there where you can get Cadence of Hyrule and Crypt of the Necrodancer for about $30. So I was like, okay, that's a good deal, and I'll play a little bit of the first one before I play Cadence. But what ended up happening was I was kind of like laying in bed playing Crypt of the Necrodancer, and as I was jumping around to the music, like within 5 minutes, I was like falling asleep. So, yeah, it just wasn't happening. But what I can say though is, like, based on my limited experience with that, it's a fair challenge with the rhythm. There is a bit of a learning curve. It took me a good, I would say, 45 minutes to get used to moving to the rhythm. So if you've already played Crypt of the Necrodancer, though, I think this is going to be a pretty seamless thing to jump into.
Yeah. One thing is though that Crypt of the Necrodancer had a lot of modes and stuff for like hardcore fans. And Cadence of Hyrule doesn't really have any of that. So if you're a veteran of the original game, you're probably going to find this one to be way too easy, and there's no like
Mm,
additional challenges to take on once you finish it. So
that's
that's
unfortunate.
yeah, it's a little bit disappointing, but
Do
whatever.
you
If
know
you're
they
if
do
you're
they
not
have
a veteran, then that's okay.
do they have
Right.
plans to add anything more to it? I know that Crypt of the Necrodancer did receive a lot of post game launch support.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear anything yet. Um, it was kind of a surprise release, though, wasn't it? It just like came out this week.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah,
quick.
yeah, it came out this week, but they originally announced it back in what, like March or something like that.
Right.
So
Somewhere around there, and then it got like
yeah,
another trailer at E3 in there. It's like, oh, it's available in a couple days after E3.
right.
Yeah, I like
Not
that
quite
when
a
they
shadow drop, but pretty close.
Pretty close.
surprise release things on E3 week.
Yeah, of interesting games for sure. That's cool.
Right.
Yeah, there's
And it,
also Contra Anniversary Collection and Collection of Mana that just came out.
yeah, those were actually shadow drop that day, which was pretty cool. So
Yeah,
those of you into Contra and old school RPGs, there you go.
yeah,
Especially one particular RPG that was not released previously in the U.S., the Trials of Mana one, right?
yeah. Seiken Densetsu 3. They renamed it.
I'm glad, because I don't think I could say that. I'm terrible
Yeah,
at pronouncing things, so.
I'm glad they changed it too. And that's the one they're also doing a remake for down the line, right?
Yeah, yeah. They
Yes, and that
announced
looks
that
great.
at the same time.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Well, it seems like a pretty seamless transition. Why don't we just jump into the E3 stuff here? But I will say, Cadence of Hyrule, I'm enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think it's worth checking out if you're into rhythm-based games for sure. Definitely check out AJ's review if you want a little bit more info on it as well, at videochums.com. But yeah, why don't we jump into some E3 stuff here? So where should we start? Should we start at the beginning, like with the EA stuff, or do you want to jump right into Nintendo stuff?
Well, one thing that I thought was really cool is that there was a lot of couples that were announced, like weird blends of things.
Okay.
Like there was the Terminator and Gears 5. Like that's awesome.
Oh yeah, the weird pairings. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and
Didn't Terminator come up again with something else too?
did it?
I think
Yeah,
it
it
did,
was.
but I don't remember what now. Like all of a sudden he showed up again.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was either. You could hear the music, and then I was like, "Really, again, guys?" But they do have that movie coming out, I guess. You
Yeah.
you got to make your money, right?
That's energy.
Yeah, yeah. Gears and Terminator, like, I guess that works, right? Because I mean, shooty
Yeah.
gun stuff with Terminator. I mean, what else would you want?
Yeah, it's just like a playable character in the multiplayer, right? Is what it was revealed to be.
I don't know.
It
I
sounds about
thought it
right.
was more than that. Was reading Wikipedia today. It seems like it's a whole mode or something. I don't know.
Really?
Here,
Yeah,
I'll find it and read it.
They must have
Okay.
paid Microsoft quite a few dollars to be like, hey, will you put our new movie character in your video game, please?
Yeah, no kidding. Our new old movie character.
Yeah, our old movie character that's in a new movie, I should say, yeah.
I really hope Arnold makes it in there, like, face and all, and
Yeah.
that would be awesome, because the Terminator machine itself is cool, but like, I mean, come on, it's Arnold. Everybody knows it's Arnold.
Right.
Hey, one thing
Yeah.
that I think is really dumb about the new Terminator movie is that Arnold has aged. It's like, do Terminators age? It doesn't make any sense. Like, it's a robot.
Yeah, he was programmed to age. Didn't you know that? Have you read up on your Terminator lore? Come on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't know if that's true, but it seems like something that they would retcon, though. They'd be like, oh, yeah, by the way, he was programmed to age.
Yeah.
Right. How convenient.
Yeah, it just says on Wikipedia that they're going to have players control either Sarah Connor or a T-800 Terminator model. That's it. It doesn't really say if they're just characters or anything. It's just a
works.
I don't know.
Works for me.
Maybe they haven't
pretty
even
generic.
Maybe they haven't even worked on it yet. Maybe they just have the license or something.
What other odd pairings did you notice besides the Terminator thing?
Well, there's Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk.
So did you think that was odd, or do you think that's a good fit? Because Keanu Reeves does have a good, sort of sci-fi background with his movies.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we know enough about Cyberpunk yet to know if he's a good fit, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, it was definitely like fan service to the extreme, but it's still cool. Like, I mean, Keanu Reeves is probably one of the most liked actors out there with young people right now. But they did a good job of it, and then bringing him on stage, that was cool. But yeah, it caught me off guard too, for sure.
Did you think it was weird when he was just off the stage all of a sudden? Like, he was only up there for 30 seconds, and then...
Oh, I didn't pay attention to that. I must have been paying attention to something else.
Yeah, it was like it was edited, but there's no way it was because it was live, right?
Live. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Found that to be really weird.
I mean, he was probably watching a timer tick down because that's all they paid him for was 30 seconds, and he's like, I'm out. So
yeah,
he just flipped out of there John Wick style.
Cost another $50,000 or something.
Right. Totally. They're going to turn their back on him so hard, like if they get even a taste of something bad with him at some point, because they're crushing him, in love with him so hard on the internet right now. It's insane. I'm like, dude, he's human. Leave him alone. Don't make him a bad person. Yeah.
He's got a big fall from grace coming if he gets caught, with something with the Me Too movement or, any sort of bad things, because it happens to tons of celebrities recently.
I feel bad because he really is genuinely a pretty nice dude, and I would really hate to see that happen, especially with a new Bill and Ted movie coming out. Yeah. So yeah, I hate when the internet does that. Oh no,
Why?
Bill.
Is he even Bill in the movie? It's been forever since I watched it.
I've actually never seen any of them, so.
I have them both on DVD. I just don't remember who's Bill, who's Ted.
Well, I do know that they're wild stallions.
Ooh.
That was the band name for those of you who don't remember. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Any other odd pairings that you noticed?
Yes,
besides
Lego
that?
and Forza.
Now, that was the one I was going to bring up if you didn't.
Yeah, we got that. We were playing the wife and I. It's a lot of fun.
The wife. What did you think of it?
Such a shitty way to say
it. Yeah, me and the wife, we're playing the Lego game over here.
Yeah, whatever. It was all right.
Whatever. It was all right. The bricks, they fall apart. Whatever.
I thought we could make the vehicles, but we can't. It's fucking bullshit.
Oh, that's great, though. What do you think of it so far, though? Is it pretty fun, or?
Yeah, it's really cool. It looks great. It seems like there's a lot of content.
Okay.
A lot of people are upset that you can't build the vehicles, but I wasn't really expecting to do that.
Yeah, what do you do? Just race them like normal
Yeah,
Forza stuff?
yeah, and the environments are all like made of Lego, so it looks
Oh, that sounds
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
That is fun. When you crash your car, does the car break apart?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Oh,
Missed
missed
opportunity.
opportunity. Yes, jinx. But yeah, I actually have that downloaded on my PC here. I'm going to be checking that out pretty soon. It was weird because it was the one thing I didn't mention during my wrap up show that I was super excited about because I A, like Lego, and B, like the new Forza game. And now that they married them together, I'm super excited and I'm getting ready to play it pretty soon here. But I didn't even mention it. So I was like, wait a minute, am I really that excited? Of course I am. Yes, I love this stuff. But um, I don't know if I would consider that as odd as the Keanu Reeves and Cyberpunk thing, though. Definitely an odd pairing, but not as odd.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Cyberpunk to really have an opinion on that, but I wasn't expecting Lego to join Forza. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was very unexpected and very cool.
Yeah.
Any other pairings?
Yes.
Let's keep going.
AJ is prepared with this list.
Yeah, I see that.
I wrote an article earlier today referencing it.
You could check that out on videochumps.com if you're interested.
Or not. It's not very long.
Plug.
Don't bother. Don't bother.
Never heard of it. Some weird site.
So George R.R. Martin and Miyazaki making
another
Elden
good one.
Ring.
So I think that is a great example, but when you were saying you don't know enough about Cyberpunk, that's a game I don't know anything about.
Yeah, but you don't have to know anything about it.
Do you? I don't know. What if this is the game where From Software is like completely changes the game? Like,
Well, they did that with Sekiro already.
Yeah, kind of, sort of, right? I guess you're right. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's interesting to me is the Dark Souls games have so little story. You know, I know they have their lore and their overworld and everything. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I do, from my understanding, Sekiro does have quite a bit more of like an actual story, right?
Yeah, have you
I would
played
assume
Sekiro?
so, yeah.
I've played some of it, and I don't like it. Like, I couldn't get into the parrying system. Like, I just suck at it. But it seemed like people were talking to me a lot more than in Dark Souls.
People? Oh, like NPCs?
Yeah, NPCs and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it took me a long time to get used to the combat. Yeah. My review was really late for that game because it took me just forever to come to grips with.
I mean, I'm super excited about Elden Ring, even though the name is really bad. But I kind of hope they go for more of a Dark Souls style because Sekiro just didn't land for me at all.
They did say it's going to be very open world, so I don't know what that means. It sounds exciting.
I appreciate that they're an active developer. Like, they keep churning out games instead of, taking 3 to 4 years to get a game out. So that's always cool.
Right. Well, I just hope that George is able to actually finish his story in time for the game to release within the next 15, 20 years.
Exactly.
That'd be nice.
Like, they'll be able to have a really great story for the first half of it, but he won't finish the second half, and so they'll just have to make up their own story, and it'll crash and burn.
Episodic content that never gets released.
Mm-hmm. But the question is, will Sony censor all the floppy penises in
it? All of them? No. They allow at least 3 floppy penises, or at most, I should say. But there will be some, so you won't be disappointed. There was an interview with
excited. His most excited game now.
Oh yeah, that goes to the top of the list now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're actually changing the name to Elder Cockring, so there's yeah.
I assume this isn't a family-friendly podcast.
No. I mean, depending on the family.
Yep. You have to put a warning at the front of this one, I think.
They interviewed George, and one of the guys was saying, Sekiro was a pretty difficult game. Are you expecting your game to be difficult as well? And he said, yeah, get good. That's what he said.
Classic George R.R. Martin.
Absolutely classic.
Yep.
Yes, that was a great example, though, AJ. I am really looking forward to see what that is. I'm not the biggest fan of From Software games. Like Dark Souls doesn't do a whole lot for me. And when I heard about how tough Sekiro was, I wasn't really interested. But I am interested to see what this is, at least from a story perspective. Because the guy writes really well. I mean, he makes great stories. Game of Thrones aside, he's written a million other things as well. That's really, really good. So I don't know. Who knows what they're planning? But
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really interesting regardless.
Yeah. I guess there goes Bloodborne too.
It doesn't seem like it's coming anytime soon.
Yeah. They'll be working on this instead.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump into pairing number 5, I think we're at.
Yeah, number 5.
If there is a fifth.
Minecraft plus dungeons? I don't know. Is that
Scraping
a
the bottom here?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about Banjo and Smash, which isn't, that unusual of a pairing, but it's unusual in that Microsoft owns one of those properties and let Nintendo use it, which is cool. I know that fans have been yelling for it forever. That's an interesting pairing.
Yeah.
It looks fun though. I'm actually like, I don't play Minecraft really, but I like Diablo, so I was like, okay, why not?
Yeah, it looked like a good accessible dungeon crawler. It's not going to take like 100 hours to get through and tons of grinding. Those sort of games don't appeal to me that much. So this one looks like some of the fun stuff without the levels of grinding.
Yeah, what I think
how
is
funny
weird
would that be though?
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just gonna say, how funny would that be though? It ends up being this hardcore like dungeon exploring game.
Yeah, it's crazy tough or something. That'd be nuts.
Yeah.
I think it's weird that they announced that Minecraft Dungeons, and then that day, I think, Riverbond came out, which looks like Minecraft Dungeons.
Oh, does it? I don't know what Riverbond is.
It's a sort of a twin stick shooter type of game. I actually played a little bit of it because I saw it went live on Game Pass. I jumped on the Game Pass thing when they announced it for only $1 for a month, which I was like, cool, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Riverbond game is actually pretty fun, but as AJ pointed out, looks a lot like Minecraft, plays a lot like a twin stick dungeon exploring type of game. So yeah, I was actually pretty shocked when I saw that after the fact. I was like, isn't this kind of the same thing? But
yeah, maybe it'll be just a reskin of Riverbond.
Let's hope.
Well, Minecraft itself is just it's a ripoff of what do you call it? Infiniminer.
Yeah. Right, Infiniminer. What is Infiniminer? I never played it.
Well, it was a game nobody played. It was Minecraft basically.
Okay.
And then they
Notch stole it.
Mojang, isn't it?
Yeah, Notch is the person. Mojang or Mojang is the company. His company.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they stole that, and then they made Minecraft.
And they made like $100 billion on it.
Yeah, Notch sold it for $1 billion. So, well.
So why not steal Riverbond too? Is what I'm saying.
Riverbond was trying to steal from Minecraft Dungeons, so they were trying to get ahead of the game there.
Yeah, I was excited to see that the Minecraft Dungeon games is going to be on Switch and PlayStation 4, which is cool.
Yeah, I think Microsoft is sort of in defense mode right now. They're like trying to throw their properties everywhere just to be like, we're still here, please buy the Xbox One.
Yeah, and they're definitely doing their best to be like the most consumer friendly company that they can be right now too, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. No doubt about it. Especially with all this cross PC stuff that's going on with them too.
Yeah.
Which it's a positive thing because I'm mainly a PC player, but the fact that I have Game Pass for however long here, and I'll get to play Gears 5 basically for whatever I paid for it. I was like, okay, cool, I'm in. But yeah, they're trying to be everything to everyone at this point. They're just like throwing cards all over the place, saying who's gonna call, come on, anybody. So I hope it works out for them though. I mean, they do have a few cool IPs, that they're developing for. Gears 5 is coming out at the end of the year. They have a new Halo coming out at the end of next year, which should be huge. A new console. But
I was
anyway,
hoping to hear more about the console than what they said. I mean, I guess I should have expected that they weren't going to go into that much detail about it, but it was just very, jargony PR, nothing super interesting in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so early. I guess they didn't want to show their cards immediately. They're really, in a way, I think playing it smart. They're sort of like being offensive where they need to be, kind of like nipping on the heels of Sony. Sony not showing up at all this year was a really strange move on their part, I think, because I really thought, and AJ and I talked about this in a previous episode last week, but I really thought that they were going to have it where they release some sort of video with some games that they're like, hey, don't forget, Sony's still alive and we're releasing these games, or maybe some sort of reveal like this is our new console, because that's been leaked. But they were completely radio silent the whole week.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they some of my friends thought they would do like their new state of play where they pre-recorded videos about games and stuff, but
right,
kind of just came and went without ever hearing from them.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, and people are saying they didn't have enough games to justify it, but they do. There's not like a desert island of games for the next year with Sony. There's still enough to, justify. And then if there's not a ton, you just include like third parties, because a lot of Microsoft's conference was still just third party games anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All they need to show is more Death Stranding, and that'll make people happy.
Pretty much.
More Death Stranding.
Yeah. Just show 5 minutes of gameplay, and people go crazy for that.
It's true.
They love it. They love Kojima, but who doesn't, right?
I can't wait for it.
On top of that, they have Last of Us 2 coming out, I'm assuming next year sometime, and that's a system seller right there too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really.
That's interesting though.
That cross system.
No.
What?
Yeah, as much as you may not be interested in it, and to be honest, I mean, I don't have a PS4 myself, but I will admit, I mean, it's a game that people like. They love the first one. I've heard so many people be like, "Oh, Last of Us," So
yeah,
I think a lot of people are looking forward to that.
Trailers for part 2 are way too violent, like just ridiculous.
Oh, there's no such thing as too much violence.
Yeah, there is. Like the first game, you're like killing those zombies, which I'm fine with, right? Because they're zombies.
Yeah.
But the trailers for the second one, you're like just killing humans, like sticking hammers in their heads and stuff. What? That's too far. Like, I don't get it. Like, Ellie's just like a psychopath. That's her name, right, Ellie?
Yeah, Ellie.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, she must be a psychopath at this point. Like, if you were raised to kill zombies or whatever they are all these years. So. I mean, yeah.
But still, it kind of put me off. Like, I would rather kill zombies in like overly violent ways. Like, that's fun to me. But like just killing just people, it's just, I don't know, kind of puts me off.
Well, I will say that's not a very American attitude, AJ. But you're not from America, so
typical Canadian.
More violence.
Bleeding heart, yeah.
Cares about people. Come on.
Yeah, I could go outside without getting shot. Yeah, it's what a pussy.
All right, definitely putting a warning at the beginning of this one. But yeah, that is a big game though for people. A lot of people are looking forward to that, violence or not. And it's going to be a big seller. I'll be really surprised if it's not. So I think Sony basically just like kind of put their, feet crossed on the desk and then put their hands behind their head and said, "Yep, we're just going to coast to the next system."
Yeah, that's kind of how it felt.
But like we were saying with Microsoft, though, they are trying hard. They're showing people talking about the new system. They basically said Halo is going to launch with the system. Like they are basically coming out guns a-blazing. Like, guys, this is it. This is what you want. It's going to be on PC too. Like anything you want, we're giving it to you. Here's $200 to buy it. Go get it.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. The Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate is another very consumer friendly thing that Microsoft is doing. I mean, you get a whole lot of games, and like you said, they had those dollar promos. They've had these promos where you can like combine your live subscription and get Ultimate Game Pass or something like that. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did the other day. It was like $1, and then it said like, hey, if you have a couple years of live already, this will just like loop into this. And I said, okay. And I didn't have live at the time, but I bought a couple of cards. So for just it was like a little over $100, I got, over 2 years of this Game Pass stuff where they promised like Gears and Halo and all this stuff that I would normally have to pay $60 to play. So I was pretty excited.
The day one stuff is great. That's the best part about the Game Pass.
Yeah, it really is. That day one stuff is like, it's game changing. We'll just put it that way. How about that?
Yeah.
Tyler, what is your preferred system? Do you play PS4, Xbox, Switch? What do you play on?
I only have a PlayStation 4, so I play on PlayStation 4. I've never been a PC gamer. Last generation, I had both a PS3 and an Xbox 360, and then that's it. And Switch, I have a love-hate relationship with Nintendo.
Uh-oh. Well, hey, we all do. We love them, but we hate them.
Right, exactly. Growing up, I was all Nintendo. That's all I was growing up. So.
Oh, okay. I get you. So, as a PS4 guy, are you looking forward to Death Stranding and Last of Us 2, or do you feel like there isn't much coming?
No, I'm not, but I get that. Like, I think they'll both be huge sellers. No, I don't like Kojima games at all.
Okay.
They just don't resonate with me. I didn't love Last of Us 1. Again, I like games that are more game focused, and both those games are very cinematic and telling a story, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm more into like third person action games, some first person shooters like Borderlands, stuff like that. But ones that are just more like straight action, like things like Bayonetta and Devil May Cry and stuff like that are some of my favorites.
Tyler, yeah, if you like Bayonetta, I've got a console for you. It's called the Switch, and
really?
it has Bayonetta 2, and it's soon 3. To have Bayonetta 3. Yep.
Yeah.
So
I've
saying.
heard of that. Yeah, that was disappointing when Nintendo locked up those releases for me. But I mean, I could always buy a Switch if I wanted one.
That's true.
And it has that new Platinum Games game too.
Yeah, Astral Chain or something like that.
Yeah.
Looks a little odd, but it might be cool.
That's coming out in August, I think, right?
Yeah, it's soon.
And AJ, I know you're excited for this game, and this is a game I've seen a few different times, but there's, for some reason, like when I watch the gameplay, I'm like, yes, this looks like something I should want to play. But for some reason, there's something about it that is just not making me salivate to play it. Like, it looks cool, but I'm not over, head over heels for it. This sounds like a game, though, that you're really looking forward to. Is that right?
Maybe it's too Japanese.
Is that what it is?
Maybe.
Could be. It gives me a very, like, anime, Japanese story style vibe.
Yeah, I definitely, I'm anime to an extent. Like, once we get to the real cute girls and that's all they feature in the game, that's where I'm like, yeah, okay, I don't know, I feel weird. I can't do curvy. It. I like anime. Like, I like some series of it. Like, I watched a lot of the Adult Swim stuff that was on, like when they were rerunning, Trigun and Inuyasha and stuff like that, And I grew up watching a little bit of Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that, but I don't know. Some of the current crop stuff I just can't really get into. I don't know what it is.
It's not for me either. I don't know if AJ is a big fan. I've never really gotten into it. I know a tiny little bit about Dragon Ball Z. I really like the Attack on Titan games, so I've gotten a little bit involved into that whole lore. But besides that, I'm very anime noob.
There's a new Attack on Titan coming out, isn't there?
Another game? Another, just a mix of the warrior style with the chopping the necks and stuff?
I think so. It's called, Attack on Titan 2, but it has, a subtitle. I think it's, a sequel to 2.
Huh. Not that I know of, but maybe.
Let's try to look
Attack on Titans 2, still attacking Titans.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's a good subtitle. Strong. Tells you what it's all about. Yeah.
No confusion.
Slight tangent. Subtitles are make or break for me when I see a game come out and they're like, Gears of War Resurgence. It's like, what the hell does that even mean? Like, what? It's such a throwaway subtitle thing that's like, what? Come on.
What happens for? Yeah, go ahead, AJ.
You wouldn't play a game because it has a bad subtitle?
No, I just look at it like, what is this? Like, what? Why even give it this dumb subtitle? Like, give it something with a little more meaning. Like, everybody uses like resurrection. Like, everybody has that kind of crap in their movies or their games or whatever. It's just like, come on, like, put a little more feeling into the title. Feels very PR to me. I don't know.
Yeah, so what happens for me is I can't keep track of the order of the games when the subtitles are in there. Like, some of the Assassin's Creed games, I wouldn't know like which one released before the other, if I ever wanted to play them sequentially or things like that. So they need like numbers with them for me to know where they released.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Actually, I was wrong. It's Gears of War Judgment. That's what it is. Judgment. Yeah. Because a character's being judged in it. Wow. What a revelation. Gears of War Revelation. That's the next one.
Oh, Resident Evil, there's a lot of that too.
Yeah, I'm not into that. I don't like it. The Resident Evil movies did that too, right?
Yes, that's a great example. You would have no idea. Yeah. Like if you wanted to watch them in like chronological or release order, you would have no idea which Resident Evils to watch in like what order.
No clue. Apocalypse, Extinction, Afterlife, Retribution. But you would know the final chapter. That apparently is the last one. So There you have it.
Well,
I mean, that kind of sounds like Apocalypse could be the last one, but then...
That is true. Extinction could be.
Extinction, yeah.
Afterlife could be, because it's like what happens after they died. I don't know.
Huh. They're all the final
fantasies
of Resident Evil.
Weird.
That Attack on Titan that I was thinking of is actually just DLC for the latest game.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, back on track with E3 stuff, guys. Are there any other noteworthy things you want to talk about with E3? Like, I know one of the games that I thought looked really, really cool and I was excited to see some gameplay of was the new Star Wars game that's coming out, Fallen Empire, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Jedi Fallen Empire.
Yeah. I didn't think it looked very good at all. I was excited to see it until I saw it. It just kind of looks like Force Unleashed, which, I mean, it's cool. It's an alright game, but I guess I was expecting more after the build-up and after, kind of how many years EA has had Star Wars and really hasn't done much with it. So I was actually a little disappointed with the gameplay.
Wow. It's interesting you say that because I was kind of watching the chat as, on the live stream as they were going about this, and a lot of the people were like, why isn't this more like Star Wars Unleashed? So you're going to get both.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. I just hope the combat is good.
Yeah.
If the combat's good, I'll be happy.
I know a lot of people were saying it looked too easy as far as the combat goes, and I was like, well, it's a demo. They're just trying to show you the things you can do without dying. That's all they're doing. But to me, I like some of his abilities, and some of his, like you said, some of his abilities really reminded me of Unleashed, but they're adding in a little bit of that, Uncharted feel to it too, where you're scaling walls and exploring and that kind of thing too, which I liked. But that's interesting. Are you a big Star Wars fan, Tyler?
Yeah. I mean, I like the universe. I like the original 3 movies. I like the iconic characters, things of that nature. So yeah, I'm a big fan without being crazy, into it. Like I can't name any of the droids or any of the characters that were in the cantina in episode 4 or anything like that, but
the cantina was not in episode 4, okay? It was in episode... I'm in the same boat. I like Star Wars, but I'm not, like, crazy about it. But to me, honestly, I watched the demo. I thought it looked pretty fun. I'm looking forward to see what else is... what else they're going to show at that game coming up here. And that's releasing at the end of this year, right?
I think so.
Yeah, and so they said this was alpha, and I was like, wow, like you got 6 months, dude. Like,
yeah, they got a lot of work to do. If that's really the yeah.
But Forrest Whitaker's in it. How do you feel about that?
I like Forrest Whitaker.
I do too.
Yeah,
I saw him and I was like, oh, cool, he's in there. I like that.
There's a good matchup for you.
Do you think his eye will be darting around the whole game?
Definitely.
I think so.
Game of
It
the
better
year.
be, or I'm refunding my money.
Yeah, he's got like some extra midichlorians in his brain that caused that. There'll be a whole retcon thing on that too to just explain it.
Well, that's Star Wars. A disappointment to some, interesting to others.
What about
That's
Lego
right.
Star Wars?
Oh yeah, Lego
What
Star
about
Wars
it?
too.
They have that game with all 9 episodes.
Do you
It just
think
sounds
anyone
really
played through
long
all
to
of
me.
those? Yeah.
Like regular Lego games are already way too long for me, so I definitely am not that excited about it. But it's a cool idea.
I wonder if the first 6 episodes will be just like the first 2 Lego Star Wars
Yeah,
games. And
they've
then
already made those games. I don't
yeah,
know if it's going to be
exactly.
new content or not.
Yeah, I guess we don't know yet, but we'll find out.
We'll definitely find out. They want to make the money, so it's going to happen.
Yeah, there was no voice acting back then in the Lego games.
That's true.
So I wonder if they'll add them for the first 6 episodes or if they'll be completely new, you know.
I get the
could go
feeling it's
either
going to
way.
be new.
It's a lot of game that they're going to have to make.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember, I think my first Lego Star Wars game was Lego Batman, and I enjoyed it. It was fun. And then I remember getting a second Lego game because I was like, okay, Lego Batman was fun. And then I was like, wow, this is boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I made it through about 3 or 4 Lego
was always
games.
fun, but yeah.
They're kind of geared for younger audiences.
Oh, say it ain't so.
My
The
first
level
one
of
was
difficulty and stuff.
Yeah.
And my first one was Lego Star Wars on the GameCube. So that was the very first Traveler's Tales TT games
Okay.
Mhm.
one. So I've been there since the beginning. I played like almost every one of them.
Wow. That's
Ah.
dedication.
Even up to date now? You played all of them?
Oh yeah, I reviewed like all the recent ones on this site.
Wow. Even because the most recent one was was it DC Villains one or something, right?
Lego Movie 2.
Oh, like, see, I'm behind.
Yeah, I played that DC Super Villains as well, and The Incredibles, and
Okay.
Marvel Superheroes 2, Ninjago movie.
Wow, even Ninjago.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
Yeah. I'm impressed.
They're fun games.
They're okay.
Do you play those alone, AJ, or do you play those with a partner?
Yeah, with the wife.
Ah, the wife.
I'll set you up.
That should really help, though. Like, I mean, I only would ever play them alone, and then there's no online multiplayer to, even if I knew someone who owned it, I couldn't play with them online.
Yeah, there used to be those. It's weird that they took it out.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
I'd assume they're quite a bit better playing with someone else, because you can kind of, screw around together or have nice family bonding time with the wife or whatever.
Yeah. The wife.
The wife.
Let's see. So we talked to, like, I don't really have anything else to talk about from EA. The Star Wars game looked interesting, but I play Apex Legends now and then, but a new Legend I don't really care all that much about.
Yeah. Competitive multiplayer shooters are not they're not my bag, baby.
You don't play Battle Royale? What are you talking about?
I don't play any of the Battle Royales. I don't play anything.
Oh, man, you got to get on that Fortnite, dog.
Oh.
I remember I covered Fortnite like before anybody knew what it was, and people were like crapping all over it, and it ended up being like the biggest game in the world.
It was huge, yeah.
Yeah, I covered it
yeah.
on August 9th, 2017.
Wow. And that was when it was just the PvE stuff? The players versus zombie stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because it started as like a weird cooperative, like, crafting thing, right? Where you would like build bases and stuff.
Yeah, and you deal with waves of zombies and things.
Yeah.
And then they saw PUBG and they were like, we could completely rip that off. Okay, let's do it.
And they did it
PUBG's
faster, and they
boring,
did
though.
it with more colors and with less bugs than PUBG, and so it took off.
Yeah. It was a tight knit machine for sure. Once they got it running, I was like, "Oh my god, this is like PUBG, except it doesn't make my computer want to explode."
Yeah, I tried that out recently, PUBG, and I really don't get it.
Yeah, you weren't into it?
Nah, like there's just like 100 people on the battlefield, and then you run around for a little bit, and someone like snipes you off from a forest in the distance, and then you sit around.
I mean, that's true of most every multiplayer competitive game.
Yeah,
Well,
guess so.
I will throw this out for PUBG though. If you play PUBG, you have to play in a squad. You have to, because I played a couple rounds of it, solo, and it's just not fun. But when you play with a squad, you guys are just being stupid, driving cars into things. People start shooting at you, and you go after them together. It's a ton of fun.
Okay.
Yeah, I recommend it that way, because if you play solo, that is for like the people who sit in their basement and just hate the world, I think.
Yeah, okay.
And yeah,
I'm on the 27th
you hate the world,
floor,
but you're not in a basement.
So, yeah.
Well, moving on from that dire note, why don't we talk a little bit about Final Fantasy VII Remake? How do you feel about that?
Excellent.
I don't know. Really?
We got an excellent and I don't know.
Yeah, so I never played Final Fantasy VII. I'm not big on these Japanese games. I'm not big in sprawling RPGs. I like action games, and this one actually looks actiony, so I'm excited for it.
I see. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Final Fantasy VII. Like, it's an awesome game, and I love it. And I played it when I was like 12 or something. The first time I played it. But I don't know, like, can they really make it into an action game and have it be better than it was in '97?
I don't know.
It's a great question. Better? I think the real question they have is, will we make money? And I think
aren't they gonna
yes.
Aren't they gonna release it in like 4 episodes, and every episode's gonna be $60, and like they'll make $300 off of this game at some point?
Did they really announce that, or is that just a rumor?
I mean, I know it's episodic.
Yeah. Well, that's what they originally announced, was the episodic thing. But I don't think they're doing that anymore.
Yeah. Oh, I think they still are. I think I read somewhere that they still are.
I know they said that there's like 2 Blu-rays worth of game that they're creating.
Yeah, I also heard that, which is nuts.
Yeah.
So let's see if 2 Blu-rays could be better than 3 CDs.
We'll see. And in March of 2020, when it releases, I will say, as someone who is not gigantic on anime style characters and that kind of thing, I enjoyed Final Fantasy VII when it was released. I played it with friends because I didn't have a PlayStation at the time, and I liked it for what it was. But this new one, I really like Tyler's pointing out, I like the action stuff. I kind of like the combat, the way it's all put together. Switching back and forth between characters seemed pretty simple and just looks like fun. I like fun, so that's where I'm at.
+1 for fun.
Yeah, but who knows? They didn't really go into like how long the CG stuff is going to be, and that's the other part of me where I'm like, I like CG story stuff, but not when it's like an hour long. So
yeah, I don't either. So I didn't think about that. If I wanted to watch something like that, I'd watch a movie. I wouldn't play a game for that much story.
You could watch the Square released movie Spirits Within, and
good.
There you go.
And I wouldn't have to play anything. Just watch it.
Yeah.
I saw that in the theater when it came out, and there was like 3 people in there.
And you were one of them?
Yeah.
All super attractive women besides him, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
I was really nervous.
You could just hear his popcorn rattling. One of you had to have a Sephiroth email address back in the 90s, though, at some point, like Sephiroth420 at geocities.com or something like that.
I know a Cloud Squall
there you go.
Still, but that's all I got. It wasn't me, but yeah, definitely know that.
Of course not.
It wasn't me.
swear it wasn't me.
Yeah, that's what they all say. Oh no! I didn't dress up as Sephiroth for Halloween. No, that wasn't me.
I was always Link. Much cooler.
Way cooler.
I don't have a Tifa body pillow.
Don't look at the closet. No.
Yeah.
So after Final Fantasy VII, after they showed Final Fantasy VII at the beginning of the Square presentation, they actually showed a lot of different RPGs, and this is kind of where I checked out a bit. Because
very RPG Japanese heavy, and I mean I know it's Square Enix, but even for them, it's heavy.
But I will say, in addition to Final Fantasy VII, that new Trials of Mana remake that's coming out looks awesome. I love the art style, and it has the same almost like, active fight style that Final Fantasy VII remake has. So to me, it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it looks cool. Another one that appealed to me from their show is Dragon Quest Builders 2. I know that wasn't a surprise when it was coming, but that game, speaking of stealing things, they just stole the Minecraft idea, but it worked, and I really enjoyed the first one, and the second one looks even better.
Can't argue with that. AJ, any of those RPGs, did you see them and they're kind of speaking to you, or did you check out during that as well?
Well, it's not Square Enix, but that new Tales game looks great.
Yeah,
that's true. I did see that.
Tales of Arise.
Yes, has a different art style than those games usually have.
Yeah, it's very bright and colorful.
Yeah,
looks great.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine. His wife loves the Tales series, so anytime there's a new mention of one coming out, she gets super excited. So, I know that's at least one household that will be getting that game day one for sure. But after all the RPG stuff, they decided to do a very strange Avengers thing.
Yeah, Avengers.
Yeah. So that happened.
Yeah, it was ugly. It was odd. And part of it, it was a no-win situation because everyone's so in love with the characters and the actors from the Marvel cinematic universe, so that they could never win there. But that being said, they did still look odd. The gameplay, did they show much gameplay at all? I guess they showed a little bit on the bridge, right?
Like very tiny microscopic bit of it.
Yeah. So it wasn't a good reveal.
No.
I think Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 looks better.
Yeah, I do too.
And that's
only going to be on Switch? Yeah.
It is, yes. It's an exclusive.
Oh, and it's made by Team Ninja.
This game on Switch, and we can't get this game on Switch, so we'll do Ultimate Alliance 3 for you anyway. And then it'll end up being the more interesting game.
And it will too. For those of you who like Wolverine, he's only going to be in one of those games, so from what I could tell anyway.
Yeah, I would guess we're not going to get any X-Men in the Avengers game, but maybe.
Yeah, they'd have to go through Fox, I think, to get that, or Disney now that Disney owns Fox. But
I think, I think they would be able to put them in there. I don't know.
But Disney owns Marvel, so never mind.
Yeah,
red tape gone. Maybe that's why they didn't show much gameplay. Maybe they're trying to shoehorn the X-Men in as well. They're like, don't look at this, look at this.
That must be it. But very underwhelming. Star Wars and Avengers were both very underwhelming for me. And there's a lot of other good surprises at E3, but those are the two that I was looking forward to, and neither of them impressed much at all.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I heard a lot of and read a lot of journalists talking about that as well, where they actually went to go see the game. They had appointments to go see it and whatnot. And even they were like, after seeing it in the appointment, I was still kind of like, so what is this game? Like, what are you doing it?
Yeah.
And that's a really bad sign.
Yeah.
Which game is that?
The Avengers.
Oh, so they actually showed gameplay to the press?
Supposedly. The press sounded like they still weren't really sure what was going on in that game or what you actually do with the characters. So
is it gonna be like an MMO kind of almost sounds like, or this big world that exists for all players?
Be like a card battle game or something.
Maybe it's a card battle game.
God.
It's a a digital version of Pogs.
Yeah, you
That
got
might be cool.
Avengers Slammers.
Yeah.
I got the Hulk Slammer. That's the heaviest one. Oh boy.
That's going to be the phone game they release alongside it.
Yeah,
You're back.
I think we just invented $1 billion mobile video game right now.
Oh yeah.
AJ invented it, and we'll steal it.
Yeah.
And as we've learned, stealing is how you make the money.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, moving on from Square, which was very interesting and RPG filled. We have Ubisoft, and we have God, who else presented that day?
Bethesda, or was that the next day?
Oh, I'm sorry, that was Bethesda. I confused the days. So Bethesda was Sunday, Square was Monday, I believe.
Right.
So Bethesda had a really interesting presentation as well, where Todd Howard actually came out and addressed yeah, I know Fallout 76 came out and it sucked. I understand.
Yeah.
He was like, I get it. So one of the funniest things about that presentation, though, is when they were talking about that, Todd Howard was like, hey, NPCs are going to be in the game, and everyone cheered. And I was like, wow, this is what people are cheering for?
Yeah, that audience had to be paid to be there. There's no way they found that many people in LA to be that excited about Bethesda stuff.
They're NPCs. Totally. Oh. Conspiracies.
But I don't know where you guys. I know AJ, you're not as into the FPS genre and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
but both.
I'm also not.
Wolfenstein. Oh, you're not? No. The new Wolfenstein game I think looks great, and the new Doom just looks like, man, I cannot wait to play that. That just looks so fun. It's like they're turning Doom into basically like an arcade game. It feels like so.
Yeah, they've done good stuff with Doom.
You want to know what the coolest thing that Bethesda?
Yeah.
Commander Keen.
That's the coolest.
Yeah, I played that all the time on computer as a kid.
You played the cheap phone game all the time as a kid?
No, Commander Keen.
Oh, I'm sorry, Commander Keen.
I don't know. I don't know what Commander Keen is.
Oh,
it's a wonderful 2D platforming game that children in the 90s played children who had PCs anyway played.
Huh.
But it's actually a great little series.
I wish it wasn't just on phone, the new one.
The new one, I'm not sure how to feel about it because it's not really Commander Keen, I don't even know what it is. It's like a drag him around, do things type of thing. I don't know.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's not even like a real platformer.
They should make a Commander Keen collection. Put that on Switch.
Why haven't they done that? Yeah.
Well, they had they had a port of one of them on Switch. Keen Dreams.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's the I think it's the worst one in the series. Yeah, it's more like a spin-off than an actual Commander Keen game. Why are we talking about Commander Keen? I'm sorry.
You brought it up, to be fair.
Yeah, Commander Keen was all your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, this phone game is all your fault, AJ.
Oh, okay. I Googled it, so now at least I do remember that showing up or something for 30 seconds on their presentation.
Yeah, that's about how much time they spent on it. Okay. I think it's the only thing the drunk people in the audience didn't woo about.
Yeah, they're like, what is this crap?
They're like, even they were like, huh? Yeah. Sobered them right up, I think.
Yep. The new Dishonored game game by Dishonored developers might be okay. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, what was the name of that one?
You can play as either the male or female, and I think they're assassins or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's not coming to me here, but that did look very interesting. That team always comes out with great stuff, though.
Yeah, they're a little bit, to me, I like that team a little bit more because it's just a little bit more less traditional than some of the other first-person shooters that Bethesda does.
Right.
Is it Deathloop?
Yes.
Deathloop, that's right. Yeah, that looked really interesting and pretty weird. I like it.
Yeah, I like new ideas. I like new things.
They also had an announcement for Ghostwire Tokyo, which looks like it could be interesting when they show more of it. Yeah.
It's by the Evil Within people.
That's right. Yeah. That looks cool too. I forgot about that. Evil Within.
So when they showed that, I want to see more of it.
Fantastic.
Tough games though, right?
The second one dials down the difficulty to like a moderate level. The first one is just awful. Like, it's so mean to you. So unfriendly.
Well, I know another game that AJ is super looking forward to coming out on the Switch this fall is Elder Scrolls Blades.
What?
A free-to-play Elder Scrolls game that only features the combat part of Elder Scrolls. I believe it's on rails as well.
Elder Scrolls has really good combat, doesn't it?
Oh, it's the best. So,
that sword swinging action, swing.
Tap to win.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You got it. So that'll be your game of the year this year, I believe.
Yeah,
game of the year for every year.
Yeah. Screw Death Stranding.
Screw Commander Keen. Or Death Commander. That, yeah. Get out of here, Stranding.
Whatever that means. It's not even a word.
Kojima doesn't need words.
He is words.
His body is 90% words.
That's right.
It really is.
I don't know if anybody gets that reference.
Nope.
Just look at his Twitter profile.
All right, moving on. We have the Ubisoft stuff. So, Ubisoft didn't really show a whole lot of exciting stuff, in my opinion. They spent a lot of time on the new Watch Dogs game, which looks cool, but personally, I've never been the biggest fan of the Watch Dogs series, so this didn't, particularly grab me. But maybe you guys, I don't know.
I haven't played either. Well, no, I played the first one enough to know that like it was awful, like it was boring, and the main character was terrible. But the second one looks like significantly better. They made it fun, they made it colorful, they made like activities. But I haven't actually played the second one. This new one seems kind of weird, where like you can control old grandmas and like do stuff. It seems weird. So I don't know. Weird direction for them to go.
Yeah, because I know the number one thing I ask for in new video games is like, can I play as the grandma?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Have you played Coffin Dodgers?
I have played. So have I. The one game we can all talk about.
So all three of us played Coffin Dodgers.
We have.
Okay. Now I know where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
This podcast is done.
Yeah.
No, that's actually next episode. We're going to do a full-length Coffin Dodgers discussion. Yep.
I'm down.
You have to set aside like 5 hours for that.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
Really get deep into each track and each character, because they play and control so differently.
Yeah, they really do. And the tracks are so elaborate. They're not just flat, boring pieces of crap.
No.
Fantastic.
It rivals that of Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I mean...
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
100%. Ubisoft also showed off a Roller Champions game. Do you guys happen to check that out at all?
Remember the name. It looked weird. It didn't tickle my funny bone.
What is that all about?
It's basically a roller derby game that's kind of adds in like some Rocket League stuff. Like it's roller derby with a ball that you throw into a goal. So
yeah. Interesting. Yeah, maybe it'd be cool.
I actually played the demo a little bit. It is cool. It needs a little bit more TLC, but yeah, I think it's something that people will enjoy. I think. I had fun with it. I don't know.
Nice. I like Ubisoft. Yeah. They try different things too.
That's one thing you could say about them, right? Is they, as much as they push this Tom Clancy stuff, always, they do try new stuff here and there. So
yeah, it's like they have the big moneymaker Tom Clancy and Assassin's Creed, and they actually dare to use some of that money to make games that are actually a little bit risky.
Yeah.
There was no Assassin's Creed this year.
Yeah, there wasn't one.
No, there wasn't.
There was that game that was made by one of the Assassin's Creed developers, but it's for Switch too. and it's colorful, and I don't remember. They didn't like I. It looked interesting on the surface, but they didn't show enough for it to actually be interesting.
Gods and Monsters, was that
Yeah,
it?
I think so.
Yeah, very generic title, but the quick CG trailer they showed, I was like, okay, maybe this is going to be cool. I don't know.
Yeah. I want to say it comes out this year. Maybe it's
We'll
early
see.
next year.
If I had to guess, I'd probably say sometime next year, because they literally showed like a 10-second clip.
Right.
Of just
I was
like a guy
surprised
fighting
that
a
like
monster,
it even had like any sort of release window with how little they showed, but it had some sort of like relatively new. Yeah, February of next year.
Okay. Yeah, I'm into seeing what that's going to be.
Yeah.
I like when they take, like you said, take chances like that and do something new. And I felt a little bad though, because when they announced it and they showed the trailer, there was like nigh a reaction to it, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh really? Like this looks kind of cool. But
Yeah,
I guess it wasn't
I
realistic
think
enough. I
people
don't
were
know.
thinking it was like going to be like a Assassin's Creed or something, and
Yeah.
then they were caught off guard. I don't know. Yeah, it was weird.
Oh well. Gods and Monsters. Look for it next February, I guess, unless it gets delayed.
No way that'll happen.
No way.
No way, that doesn't happen in this industry.
But you know, that was about it for Ubisoft. I mean, they're pretty safe this year. Really putting a lot of time into Watch Dogs, which I think is going to be a big seller for them. But they did put a lot of time into some of the new Tom Clancy stuff that's coming out as well. They have like the Rainbow Six game where you could actually like break bones and stuff like that, which just seemed like, you want to talk about violence, AJ? Like that's pretty violent.
Next game of the year, the bone breaking Rainbow Six DLC or whatever it is.
There you go. Seemed pretty scary. You got like somebody chasing after you in the jungle, and like they're like, you could really break your bones and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know if I don't know if I want to do that. It's so realistic. My leg. Yeah. Oh.
Rainbow Six Siege does have a pretty big following. I never got into it, but
yeah, I didn't get into it either. But it does have a really big following. They have esports with it now and everything, and it's huge.
Yeah, big success for them.
Definitely. Well, I'm glad they got one. You know, because they Ubisoft really needed it.
That poor fledgling company.
Yeah. They were always like that though. They've always like released big games, but I've always felt like besides Assassin's Creed, a lot of the stuff that they would produce would do fine, but not be a blockbuster. Like they come out with these amazing Rayman games, you know, the newer platformers, and they would just do okay. And they're amazing games. So
yeah, I love both the Raymans, the newer ones, Origins, and I forgot the Legends,
I think. Yeah. Both great games. But yeah, let's move on to Nintendo, which I think arguably had the best showing this year.
I mean, they were a good showing.
Yeah.
For not liking RPGs, I thought Square Enix had a really good show in that they had a lot of unexpected stuff and things like that. So, but yeah, Nintendo was up there for sure. I also like Microsoft's conference quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, they were good. They just show a lot of stuff. I might be a little biased here too, because I do have a Switch, so a lot of these games I'm looking forward to playing. But they gave everybody everything they wanted, basically. I mean, literally everything they wanted, except for new Metroid Prime stuff. That's about it.
Right.
Everything else, they announced a new Breath of the Wild sequel. They announced that Banjo-Kazooie is coming to Smash. They gave a date to Animal Crossing. It's like, what more did everybody want?
Yeah, no, it is. Animal Crossing did get delayed because it was supposed to come out this year, but they did actually show some, real gameplay and stuff and gave a date. And yeah, Animal Crossing is going to be huge. I played the one for GameCube forever ago and got super addicted to it. Animal Crossing is a great game.
Yeah.
And Mario and Sonic at the Olympics is back.
Yeah, Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. The number one game that Switch players are waiting for.
You make fun, but I kind of want to shred as Mario. Like, in the
Yeah,
bowl, you know?
they had some weird sports in there. I guess skateboarding is an Olympic sport. I don't know, but it was weird looking.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
skipped 2018, and now they're back.
Yeah,
Sometimes
maybe.
you need a break, AJ.
Yeah, they didn't think all 20 Wii U owners would buy it, so they're like, if all 20 of them don't buy it, then we can't put it out. And now that there's like more than 20 Switch owners, they can put it out again.
Yeah, but if
So
they put
sad,
it out
isn't
on
it?
the Wii U, then it'll just be ported to the Switch anyway.
True.
That's true.
This is probably the version they're going to put on the Wii U, and then they just ported it forward. They just didn't actually get a chance to release it on the Wii U.
Hey, that doesn't make sense because 2018 was the Winter Olympics. This is Summer Olympics.
It's true. They swapped out snowboards for skateboards.
Yeah.
So this
It
is
still
for
has,
next year then?
snowboard physics.
Slipping all over the place.
Yeah. They did
Skating
Luigi's
with
Mansion,
pellets,
which is
rollerblades.
a fun.
Oh, how could I forget? This is my game of the show.
Really?
Yeah, I love this series, man.
Oh man.
Which one?
Okay, what's not to like? You got your Ghostbusters, you got your Mario. What else do you need?
I mean, it's cool. It's a fun, clever idea. It's a good diversion, but like after a few hours, it's like, all right, I've had enough. Just let me jump on a Goomba or something like that.
I'm not sure how to feel about Gooigi though. You guys seen this Gooigi?
He was in the 3DS remake.
He was, and he's still weird.
Yeah. I think it's
I love
cool
when Nintendo
because
does that.
because you could send him off to do different puzzles and then he can't touch water. So you have to yeah. I hope they have like a co-op component to it.
Well, let me
That's
tell you,
cool.
AJ, they do.
Oh,
You
nice.
could play as Luigi while Mary plays as Gooigi, or vice versa. However you want to do
Yeah, I
it.
remember that now. Yeah, they said that. And then they have that online mode too.
Yeah, which actually looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Busting ghosts with a bunch of other Luigis. It's really weird.
Yeah, busted
But,
makes you feel good.
It really does. Way too good. But regardless, I saw someone post something about Luigi's Mansion 3. One of the developers said like this was actually originally supposed to come out on the Wii U, but we moved it to Switch, and someone was like, "That's really cool." I was like, "Well, yeah, no crap. Like they moved all of their development over to the
Yep.
Switch." Yeah, that was
Yeah,
not really
the
a
Wii
big
U only had
surprise.
like half the life cycle. I mean, all
Yeah.
these games that have come out for the first couple of years of Switch were probably at one point planned for Wii U.
Yeah, Breath of the
Definitely.
Wild even. Yeah, that came out on Wii U, and I own the Wii U version. I don't even have it on Switch. And I actually
wow.
like it better on Wii U because you use the gamepad as like the little tablet that Link has in the game.
Oh, here we go.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
Well, no, but on the Switch,
defend
on the
the
Switch,
Wii
you
U
don't
tablet.
have the two screens, right?
Oh, I thought you
On the-
did.
if you
still.
play portably, you could still touch the screen.
Yeah, but you don't have it on the TV screen and portably at the same time. But on the
That's
Wii
true.
U, you can actually use the gamepad as the tablet while you're playing it on the TV.
I can't argue that. I felt the same way with that Zombie U game, where it eventually came out on the other consoles, and I was like, "Yeah, but you had your backpack on the gamepad. You could move things around and pull. I thought that was
Yeah.
pretty cool." But
I mean, it was
no.
a game that was developed for the Wii U, so like
Right.
cool features were Wii U specific, and then yeah, they put it on everything else anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that they developed Breath of the Wild for Wii U, and they just adapted it for Switch.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, AJ, I know we talked about this last show, but any more interest in the new Pokemon that's coming out?
Oh, well, we'll see.
Okay.
Pretty fun.
What about you, Tyler? Are you a Pokemon person?
Games.
I mean, I played a ton of Blue and Yellow and a lot of Silver on the Game Boy Color or Game Boy Original, whatever it was on. But I kind of got burnt out by the second one. So I mean, they're on like the 9th iteration now. So no,
Yeah.
I'm still not. It's not appealing to me, but it's still insanely popular.
Yeah, it's crazy how popular it is. I know, AJ, you said that you were into the Let's Go stuff, right?
Yeah, I played it. I liked it a lot, but I wouldn't say like I'm a fan or anything.
Well, I'll have you know, because I think before you were curious as to whether you could use the Pokeball as a controller. And in the new game, you can use it, but they're not saying what for yet.
They actually said you can't use it as a controller.
You can't use it as a controller, but you can
No,
use it for something.
yeah, you could use it to take your Pokemon with you, but you can't use it as
Oh,
a controller.
I missed that part. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a complete disappointment.
Total Nintendo job, yeah. You know that thing you want to do? Well, you can't do it, but you can kind of do something with it.
If you
Thanks,
want to
Nintendo.
like walk around with Pokemon in your pocket for some reason.
Speaking of one thing that one thing that Nintendo, I will give them credit, does fantastically is their amiibo. Like, I have a huge amiibo collection. I've spent a lot more on Nintendo toys and figurines than I have on their games in the last decade. But I'm super excited for the new amiibo coming out, and Link's Awakening is getting a new amiibo, and there's going to be a Banjo and Kazooie amiibo, and so that's cool.
Yeah, I put that together. I saw the Link one. It looks great. And then someone was posting on the YouTube thing. They're like, "Oh, Smash! That means they're going to come out with the Banjo amiibo." And I was like, "Oh my god, you're right. I must have it." Yeah. That's so. Did you guys watch the reveal for Banjo? What was your feeling when they were doing the trolling thing with?
I know they troll. I know they troll a lot, and sometimes it's kind of like groan inducing. But that one was hilarious. Like, it worked. It like fit perfectly. The dog and bird versus the bear and bird. Like, it was really funny.
Yeah. I laughed pretty hard when I saw that. I was like, how clever, actually, like to troll everybody that hard. And, yeah. Even Donkey Kong and Diddy and King K. Rool, they're looking through the window like, what? Like, they couldn't believe it. And then when Banjo like lands in, and then they all just like cheer, like, yeah. Like,
it was a lot more clever than their usual trolls, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, it was really clever.
I'm really hoping next year they do another one for their last or possibly last expansion character, because they did it with King K. Rool, where they did the whole Donkey Kong thing, and they did the exact same setting for Banjo. So I just wonder who would be next if they were to try to troll the audience again.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they will, and it might not be at E3. It might be at like one of their just directs, but I would anticipate it happening. Yeah, I forgot what they did with King K. Rool, but I remember that one. I was like, it's okay. But yeah, this one really did make me laugh. It just works really perfectly with the Duck Hunt characters.
Yeah. Yeah, the original one with King K. Rool, they actually had King Dedede from the Kirby series, and he kind of popped out. It was like, haha, like I'm fooling you guys, But this one made so much more sense because the dog and the duck are more of a similar looking character.
Exactly, yeah, they really are. Yeah, it was clever, very clever.
Yeah, really well done.
I could have done with like a little bit shorter segment where they had Bowser in the tie at the beginning. And like,
let's talk about that.
And he just grunted a whole bunch. Like, didn't Bowser used to be able to talk? Like, he can't talk now? I swear he used to talk.
He did talk at one point. Super Mario Sunshine, I think, right? Was one?
He had to have talked, but like, he was just doing a bunch of grunting, and it went on way too long, and yeah.
Yeah, that was weird, because you could tell that Doug Bowser and the other guy, I apologize, I forget his name, but when they were both on screen, you could tell they were filmed in different places because they were just green screening. Yeah.
Right.
So it made me laugh because when Doug Bowser was introduced and Bowser walked off screen, they came together in the middle but didn't touch or shake hands or anything. I was like, oh, yep, this was not filmed together. Okay, got it.
But do you get it, though?
No, I don't get it. Will you explain the joke, AJ?
Yeah.
They have the same last name.
Who?
Isn't that awesome?
Wait, who has the same last name?
Wait, who? The Nintendo Japan guy and Bowser?
Yeah, they have the same last name.
Who knew?
Oh, man, what a joke. I hadn't heard that 1,400 times already before their little presentation. So, yeah.
Yeah. But
so Bowser's name is actually Bowser Bowser? Right?
Bowser.
Mm-hmm.
They both have
Doug
the same
Bowser.
first name, Doug.
He had to have changed his name, right?
No,
He started working for Nintendo and changed it or something, right?
I think maybe it's how he got the job in the first place.
Maybe. Like, can you imagine? Like, I think it's funny too that they picked the villain as the guy who's going to run Nintendo of America. Like Bowser, he's a ham, but he is the villain, so it made me laugh. It's like, yeah, let's put the evil guy in charge. That makes sense.
Right. Yeah, that was real bad. It set a tone. It set a tone for a real bad show, and then they ended up not delivering a terrible one. So I was disappointed that it wasn't awful.
Yeah,
He wanted it to be awful.
Right.
But you get the joke, right?
You're gonna have to explain it to me again offline.
He was talking about a joke. AJ, I don't think this is working.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see you later.
Bye.
There's just too many layers
Bowser
for me to understand this comedy.
It works on so many levels.
Yeah. If you're 3 or something.
All right, so to break it down, Doug Bowser has the same name as the villain from
The Legend of
Link's
Awakening. Yes.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh no, it's the same. Wart from Mario 2.
Yes, Mario 2.
Yeah.
That would be great. They should have hired a guy named Wart, because Wart's better than Bowser anyway.
They'd have to bring him back at that point.
That's right. Wart should be a new character in Smash.
Oh, that would be great.
Then I could buy a Wart amiibo.
There you go.
And my life would come full circle.
Right, the circle is complete.
Yep.
Let's see. Anything else at the Nintendo thing that you guys were
Link's Awakening is cool. I don't love Link's Awakening like some people do, but it's a very good game. But I do love the cutesy art style that they went with. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I like it too. Very like old school claymation style.
Yeah.
I did hear though that that some of the guys who played it on the show floor said that it was pretty frame ratey. Like it kind of would dip a lot, I guess.
Really?
I guess when you're in a dungeon, it runs. Yeah, if you're in a dungeon, I guess it runs a full 60. There's no problem. But for some reason, whenever they were out in the world, I guess there were certain times where the frame rate would just dip, and maybe that's just some optimization they have to fix. But
I think that'll be fixed. Nintendo's usually on top of that sort of stuff. But that's interesting because that's coming soon too, right? Like September.
Yeah, September. Very quickly here. So we'll be playing Link very shortly, just a few months.
All right, Link. And I'll have a new amiibo in just a few months.
And we'll have a cuter Legend of Zelda game than Wind Waker. So people will have something more to complain about.
That's right. Man, people hated Wind Waker.
I felt like when it came out, I was the only person who loved it. I really liked it.
Well, they leaked all those images of what ended up being Twilight Princess. And people were like, oh, man, a realistic, super cool-looking Link and Zelda and Ganon. And then they did Wind Waker.
The ultimate troll.
Yeah,
but it's a beautiful game, though. It's so pretty. And I really like the faces on the characters are so expressive because of that. Like, yeah, it's just a really cool game.
It looks great on the Wii U, too. They have that remake.
Oh,
HD remake on Wii U. Should I stop talking about Wii U?
No, you talk about your Wii U as much as you want.
Wii U cast.
What's that? Oh, like a podcast about Wii U?
Yeah.
I bet a lot of people would listen to that because it's so specific.
Yeah, probably. But you can only do like 8 episodes, and you'd already be done with every game ever made for the Wii U.
Oh, there was more games than that.
Okay, 12.
There were plenty of games on the Wii U, just not a lot of great games on the Wii U.
Isn't there a Pikmin game on the Wii U?
What's that?
Was there a Pikmin game on the Wii U?
Yeah, Pikmin 3.
Yeah. Did that ever get ported to Switch?
Not yet, I don't think.
Huh, that's weird.
Nope. Every year, everybody says it's coming, and it never does.
Interesting.
So,
because Pikmin's cool.
Yeah. It is cool. It's a very underrated series.
Yeah.
Yeah, Super Mario 3D World too. That's not on Switch yet, is it?
No, it's not.
No.
And it's funny you mentioned that because that was one of the predictions I forgot to mention during our other show. I really thought that they were going to announce that as a game that was coming over from the Wii U because they have Mario Maker coming out and it has the Mario 3D World stuff in it. So I was like, yeah, let's have some continuity here and release the game on Switch so kids know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, I forgot about Mario Maker.
Yeah. It's going to be great, by the way. Next week, I think it comes out. It's going to be good.
I'm not a big make the level kind of guy. I'm more of a play the level kind of guy. So, and I know you can play other people's levels, but
yeah, what's great about this game is there's an endless amount of levels to play. So
it's true.
They're not all great, but they are fun. I will say I came from the presentation pretty excited for Pokemon. Digressing all the way back to our Pokemon talk. I am not the biggest Pokemon fan, not to say that I don't like them, but it's just a series that I've never really grabbed onto. And I got to say, this new open world version of it has me kind of thinking like I might check this game out when it comes out. So
is it open world? I didn't know that.
It's yeah, if you take a look at the gameplay trailer, you get to see like this gigantic, almost it reminded me of Breath of the Wild a bit, where it's just like you could see for miles away, and you can actually see all the monsters walking around, so you know who to go after if you need to find a certain one or whatever. So to me, this looked like a lot of fun, and looks like the kind of game I'd want to check out. So
nice.
But yeah. Well, guys, anything else from E3 that caught your fancy, thought was funny, jokes we didn't explain enough yet?
You see, his name is Doug Bowser, right?
Right.
Anywho, that new Panzer Dragoon looks awesome.
Oh yeah, that was a random reveal.
Yeah,
quote unquote new.
Yeah, is it a remake? I don't know what it is. I don't know anything about that game.
I think it's a remake, but I don't know for sure.
It looks amazing if it's a remake.
Well, what do they call them now? Remaster or whatever?
Well, because it hasn't been around for like 17 years now.
Right.
I thought there was an Xbox One version.
There was one on the original Xbox.
Huh. I thought there was an Xbox One, like right when the Xbox One launched.
Was there?
I think so.
I couldn't tell you. I actually have not played the series, so if they have a new one coming out, I definitely want to check it out.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I don't think that was Panzer Dragoon, was it? But it was really disappointing, whatever it was.
Maybe it was like a Kinect game or something. I don't remember. I thought it was Panzer Dragoon, though.
Well, before we get sign off here, guys, I just want you to, if you have a game of the show, what is it? I already told you mine, Luigi's Mansion 3. Super excited for when that comes out. Can't wait to play it. There's a lot of other games I'm excited for as well, but that one took the cake for me. What about you, AJ? Is there a game of the show that you can't wait to play?
Death Stranding.
That's the one?
Was it at the show?
Yeah, it was all over E3. It was at the Sony press conference.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that Death Stranding preview. I totally remember it.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I remember the Sony conference when they had Bowser come out with Kojima.
That's right.
Yeah, they were like, yeah.
They had the last name. The same last name.
Right.
Kojima Bowser.
Exactly. That's a pretty funny joke. I loved it.
Yeah.
Tyler, what game is your game of the show?
Yeah, so I liked there's two of them I really like. I'm still really excited for The Outer Worlds, which was shown at the Microsoft press conference, and it kind of looks like a blend of Borderlands and Fallout or whatever. I think that looks cool. Mm-hmm. And then Final Fantasy VII Remake, I think looks great. It's really got my attention.
Very cool. Yeah, we didn't talk about The Outer Worlds at all, but yes, that is one to look out for. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks cool. Hey, I found that game you were talking about. It's Crimson Dragon.
Oh. Yeah, I'm done.
It was like a spiritual successor to Panzer Dragoon.
Oh, okay. But it's not a direct part of it.
It's not an official Panzer Dragoon series.
It doesn't count. According to my calculations.
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
It was a Kinect game too, I think.
But did it have Kinect?
And those games are never fun.
Yeah,
that's
I don't know. I like that baseball one where you just get home runs.
The home run, yeah, I did too. That was actually awesome.
Well, guys, I want to thank you for.
Oh, sorry. Oh, wait. No, before we wrap up.
Yeah, before we wrap up, go for it.
It was planned for Xbox 360 to use the Kinect on it, and they canceled that. So they released it on Xbox One without Kinect functionality.
Oh,
this is really interesting stuff that we should totally put at the end of this podcast.
Yeah, I'm glad we delayed the closing out for.
Yeah, we needed that information.
Just there was somebody who was listening with a pad of paper that was like, okay, got it here.
Let's talk about Loco Cycle now. That was another early Xbox One game.
That will bring us to the end of the show. But for real, guys, I want to thank you for coming on. AJ, always a pleasure. We know we could find you at videochums.com. Tyler, great to meet you. Great talking with you. We could also find your work at videochums.com. Do you guys have anywhere else you'd like to plug? AJ, first, you go for it.
Not really. That sounds good.
Okay. Not eating anywhere that any Bowser jokes, nothing like that?
I don't know. I never heard any Bowser jokes in a long time.
Okay. Tyler, anywhere else to plug for you, sir?
No, I don't got anything. I'll work on scaring up some stuff to plug if I'm ever invited back.
All right, great. And we will definitely have you back at some point. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for talking E3. It was a cool year. And of course, everybody, I will see you all in the next episode of GGRC. See you then.